What's up, guys? Welcome to the 2D Research Podcast. I am your author, Giuseppe, co-host Ryan.
Author?
I don't know why I said author, but I am. It's because of what we were talking about. But your host and author, Giuseppe. So we have a camera now.
We do, yeah.
We had a webcam that was really shitty, but we have a new camera.
This one's not so bad.
Yeah, unless it dies. So today, per usual, we're going to be going over beer pairings, some topics that we had in mind. A big one being the Crunchyroll Awards and Reddit Awards, but we're going to go over that a little bit later. So, what have we been watching?
Other than My Dress Up Darling? Well, we started watching Serial Experiments Lane.
That's right.
Hey, I actually said it right this time. I'm proud of myself.
So, I have seen it. This is your first time watching it.
Yeah.
What do you think so far? We're like 4 episodes deep.
It's pretty good. I like it. I mean, I have no idea what's going on, but I have a lot of ideas of what I think is going on, and I don't know how close they are to truth, but it's pretty interesting so far. The first couple episodes made me really anxious. Like, it just made me uncomfortable.
I could see that.
Like she comes home from school and it's just the silent her walking into the living room and just the way the lighting is and the vibe of the whole scene. I was discomforted. But I feel like it was like a good, like, ooh, you know?
I just think you don't seem to understand.
Understand what?
And you don't seem to the intro song.
Oh.
Boa?
Yeah, Boa.
Boa.
Yeah.
That's a banger. I'm throwing that on the drives all the time. Like all the remixes, the original. Like
I do love Boa.
But I feel like Serial Experiments Lane has almost become like an aesthetic call for like people that aren't even really into the show, but they're still like, they'll put up pictures of it or like.
Well, when she starts kitting out her Navi, I mean, that's what I want my room to look like.
Yeah.
Just a mess of wires and cables and stuff, and the cooling is just on point. The floor fan just right behind the system.
Right.
It looks sick. I can see why people would like it aesthetically. What was the one, you might know what I'm talking about, the anime where it's the older people and then there's babies, but they're like fighting and they have clothes and the clothes give them powers? You know what I'm talking about?
No, I have no clue. I've never heard of that.
It's a weird one. It just popped into my head.
Like the babies are fighting the adults?
No, the babies are fighting each other, but like the babies are people's like stands.
What?
Yeah. So it's a normal age person, and the baby is fighting another baby for them.
At first, I thought you were describing that's codename Kids Next Door, but no, this is something else.
It's like codename Babies Next Door. I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it. It's just pulling up baby clothes for me. There's a baby Tanjiro outfit.
Really?
Yeah, that'd be kind of cute.
Huh? But this makes me think too. I feel like I've seen this recently. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's like that toddler versus grandma fight simulator.
I don't think I've heard of it.
So it's this game where like you either roll as the grandma or the toddler. So if you're the grandma, you have objectives like go grab your medication off your dresser, your granny meds, and you're like you only walk so fast because you're a granny, so you're just doing this. You're like real slow, and the toddler could throw like bottles at you and different things to like knock you over. And you have to get these objectives in time, but the thing, like the baby's kind of like the antagonist, role. And
is it like a multiplayer game?
I think
like it's play against somebody.
Yeah, so it's not. I don't know if there's a NPC AI variant, but like pretty much you roll as the baby or the grandma, and it's 1 versus 1 actual players.
Yeah,
and the grandma's ability, though, is if the toddler gets close enough, you could punt it. You could punt the toddler like across the room. So it's
what kind of game is it? Is it like just is it like 3D? Is it like a
it's
side
like,
to side?
it's 3D. It's like one of those shitty indie Steam games, I think.
Do you know how much it is off the top of your head?
No, but I'd guess like $7 tops.
$7.
Yeah.
I'd be down. Play it. We'll go 1v1.
Stream it? Yeah.
Weird baby game.
Weird baby game.
Yeah.
We'll be dressed in the Tanjiro baby clothes when we play it.
Is there custom NFT skins in it that I can play to unlock?
Can I play as Bored Ape Grandma?
You know, it took me so long to realize that Bored Ape was like a ape that was bored. I thought it was like BOARD, like Bored Ape.
Oh, like a rocket power ape?
Something foreign and fancy.
Okay.
Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Yeah.
I thought it was something fancy. I didn't know it was just actual like bored apes.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
The only ape I mess with is bathing. Bored, I'm not about it.
Fair, yeah. I'd get behind that.
Yeah. So, much to our surprise and astonishment, not really, but I don't think the Crunchyroll Awards came through this time around. Maybe in some regards, I'm not going to call it black and white, but I don't know. How do you feel about it?
I mean, it definitely just seems like it was a lot of the same shows, which kind of makes sense, but also kind of doesn't. We watched that video that was talking about how it seems a little bit more like they were advertising for them.
Yeah, just kind of like the self-plug.
Yeah, but it also makes sense because you say that it seems like they picked the anime that everybody likes, and yeah, it's an award show, a lot of people like them, so those are probably the ones that are going to get a lot of votes.
Right, yeah, it's objective. You're looking at numbers, so you can't like deny that certain ones were voted over other ones, but I think it comes down to it's kind of this difference of thought and like different bases, like this separation of people are like, oh, well, real anime fans would have voted for this one. Yeah. Just, people that are like casuals aren't going to be into it.
They're voting for those ones.
Yeah. Because, some are, you can't argue like the reason they reached the level of popularity they did is because they're incredible. I think of like Jujutsu Kaisen's one that was kind of all across the board for nominations, and did it get Anime of the Year? Overall?
I don't think I wrote that one. We can actually pull up the stuff right here so we can just check stuff.
Yeah.
Hold on one sec. No, the Crunchyroll one, Jujutsu Kaisen didn't get it. Attack on Titan Final Season Part 1 got it.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I thought was a little strange because, I'll say I'm going to stand behind Attack on Titan. I love me some Attack on Titan, but I don't think it deserved to win Anime of the Year for the first part. I'd say that this Part 2 has a better chance next year, and it's better than Part 1, but I just don't think it should have been Anime of the Year. There was so many other better ones.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to put a final season Part 1 as the winner.
Yeah, well, I think the Crunchyroll Awards was a panel of 70-something jurors.
Yeah.
So it was like a jury of 70 people that voted. And, I mean, I have no idea who they were, but I don't think it was like fan voting. Or maybe, I think it was. There was fan voting as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, but it was this weird kind of dynamic where you had to vote daily. Like, you couldn't just put your vote once. I don't quite understand it, but who knows? It could be rigged. Like, before you know it, you'll see, like, Best Boy was Jake Paul, and you're like, all right, something's up here. This is rigged, obviously.
What's his Team 10 or whatever? They made a Team 10 anime?
That could be something.
Could you imagine?
I could see it.
Yeah, so I could see it, too.
I'd watch it,
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch anything. Give me a Jake Paul anime.
All right, you heard it. So Jake Paul anime, that should be next up. It's anticipated for 2023. But so best protagonist is Otokawa from Odd Taxi, which you haven't seen, right?
Mm-mm.
I've seen like 7 or 8 episodes. And to me, this is very opinionated, but I didn't feel it. Like, I think the story, great. It is captivating. But as far as it is an anime, it's produced in Japan, but it feels like you're watching something on like Adult Swim, where it didn't have the anime vibe to it, you know?
It kind of looks that way. I think it's just because it's all the odd characters, but
yeah,
it's probably got its elements. I haven't seen it, so I can't really speak too much on it, but a couple other people have told me that Odd Taxi is really good.
Yeah, because the story is there for sure.
Yeah. But it just doesn't necessarily give you that like anime feel.
Yeah, kind of that. I was hoping they would just give a little more of that, but you know, it's unorthodox. It breaks away, like it's
something
innovative.
New.
Yeah, in some right, but it's a flavor thing. It wasn't my flavor. I'll finish it out just for the sake of saying I did, but I'm not like gunning to.
Yeah, it's not like at the top of your interest list.
No, but yeah, I just found that interesting that he landed Best Protagonist. I feel like there's also a lot of candidates.
Yeah,
could have made it there. But
people must have really liked him. I don't know anything about it, so I can't make an assumption, I guess. But
just to me, it was a pretty dry character. So I don't know. That's what they had, but even more interesting, Best Antagonist.
My boy.
Eren Yeager.
My boy.
Which, funny thing is, he got nominated for both, right?
Yeah.
So, nominated for Best Protagonist and Antagonist. That's a true anti-hero there.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think a lot of people could say it's stupid that he can get nominated for both, but it makes sense because the whole show, he's kind of shown to you as the really, I'm going to go get it protagonist.
Kind of like self-righteous, you know?
And then he just kind of out of nowhere turns into the villain without you even realizing it, you know. You almost feel a little bit betrayed, but he's my boy, so I back him. Raise the world.
You either die a hero or live long enough to become a villain, Batman.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's a Batman quote, but
it's Eren Yeager.
It seems appropriate, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much him. So, Best Animation. Could have guessed it. Mugen Train. The movie for Demon Slayer. I mean, it's even gone better. Like, I know it technically wouldn't make the cut because isn't
Demon
like
Slayer?
the 2022, like it goes back over 2021, ends up in the 2022 awards.
No, 2022 starts in 2021. Like winter 2022 starts in December.
Oh, okay. But well, what I was getting at is like I didn't think it would get that much better, and then like the recent season of Demon Slayer, the animation is like nuts.
Yeah.
Mappa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mappa is just they're hitting it, bro.
They're putting out some good shit, man. Them and Ufotable or whatever.
Oh yeah. Just bangers.
Yeah, they're both just killing it. Mappa's got some good names under their belt, though. You know, despite anything that can be said about Attack on Titan, like Jujutsu Kaisen is killing it. They, you know, Chainsaw Man. I watched the trailer. The only trailer that's out is the one that came out like 7 months ago. There's a trailer for the part 2 of the manga.
That's what I saw, and I was stoked. I was like, oh, like a part 2 for the anime trailer.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was still cool, but it
Yeah.
didn't show what Mappa's doing, you know.
Still, but that teaser from 7 months ago, man, I rewatched it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be insane. The animation just looks so cool.
Like, what's the budget on something like that? I'm curious, you know.
At least $2.
at least $3.50.
At least. Gotta be.
Got to be. But overall, you know, Crunchyroll kind of, it made sense. I just don't think a lot of people are happy with it. But again, not everyone's going to be happy. There's winners, there's losers. It's awards. So let's touch on some of the Reddit awards, because
the Reddit one I feel like is a lot more fun. Like even just looking at it, because it's just there's so much more to it. The Crunchyroll one, it's just not, it's like Jujutsu Kaisen in a lot of these got nominated multiple times in some of these.
Yeah.
But at least, and there are some that got won multiple times and got nominated multiple times in here, but I feel like there's more diverse shows, you know? and they show you here the jury and the public winner. So it's kind of, what did the public vote for and what did the jury vote for? It's not like a vote every day for your favorite show for 1 month. Like I'm not gonna vote for something every single day. Come on.
I mean, I will say before we jump into that one, I did 110% agree with Crunchyroll. I'll give them this much credit. Was Horimiya for the best rom-com.
The Reddit one voted for that for best too.
Really? So that says something if it's across both, but
yeah, for the public winner on this one.
Yeah, because they have the jury, the public, and I just feel like it's going to be less biased because it's all encompassing. Because of course, Crunchyroll's gonna, pump up the Crunchyroll originals and the exclusives.
Yeah,
but I feel like with Reddit, people are looking at Funimation, High Dive, the Netflix exclusives, the Amazon Prime exclusives, the weird website ones. It's all across the board.
Yeah, I did see. I can't remember which one it was, but there was one that won on Crunchyroll. That's not even a show on Crunchyroll.
I think they showed some Beastar stuff, right? That's Netflix.
I think so.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the other one was, but I definitely saw some that were I think on Funimation.
But I mean, they're merging
definitely, yeah.
Now, so even then, yeah.
Then especially, but it doesn't even matter. But yeah, I don't know. The Reddit one just, I don't know. There's a lot more on here. I will say that I am upset with myself that I don't even know what Horimiya is.
Yeah.
And I call myself an anime romance fan. I definitely have to watch that.
That was one I was a little late to the game with, and I just saw a picture of it where I was like, that art style is cool, and the character design was cool. I saw him, and his name's totally slipping me right now because I know it's the blend of both characters that makes Horimiya. Anyways, he has all these piercings, this cool little lip to ear chain, tattoos, and he's a high schooler. And, not giving anything away, but just the basic premise is he kind of keeps that low key, and you wouldn't know that from talking to him.
Yeah.
He kind of has that little edge to him, and he meets girl who is very conservative and modest, and you can imagine what happens after that. So
yeah, and I will enjoy every second of it. That's kind of weird though, just the kind of edgy piercings and stuff. I don't know if I've ever really seen that in a slice of life romance anime kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't even know what the character looks like. I've just seen that one picture.
Right.
Him normal, so I don't know what he looks like with all of it.
I know there's definitely some out there. I mean, it's always notable with I feel like Pain is a big character that comes to mind for piercings from Shippuden.
Yeah,
he has everything pierced. So yeah, for the rom-coms, it's not nearly as common. I mean, you wouldn't really call it a rom-com. It's more dramatic, romantic, but
Horimiya?
No, I was gonna say Nana.
Oh,
they all have piercings and stuff, and that's kind of
that makes a little more sense. Yeah,
a little more edgy.
I can see that fitting in there a lot more than the one picture I saw of Horimiya, but
right, yeah,
it's definitely going to be the next thing I watch.
Definitely. So, what else is kind of Reddit touched on that we think they just hit the nail on?
Let's take a look. I do think again, Mushoki Tensei. Haven't seen it, but just from the little bit of clips we were watching, the animation on that one looks sick.
That does. I think, is the English name Jobless Reincarnation?
I don't know.
Is that something? I feel like that's it. God, I hope that's not something else, but yeah, it looks incredible. I know it's a little bit polarizing.
Jobless Reincarnation. Well, it's a little bit of it looks like a regular anime. It's not too shiny, doesn't have all the lights and stuff, but some of the scenes in there They really went all out on it. So it seems like you kind of get a lot of different flavors of art style throughout the show. I want to watch it though. It's got me hyped up to check it out.
Because I think the jury winner nailed it with Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. I know you haven't seen S, but it's one you don't expect like the fight scenes to be that good for like a slice of life. When you watch the animated fight scene, it's like nuts.
I might need a little bit of that.
It's like you're watching a shonen, you know?
I might need that then. I might have to check it out. I wasn't too much of a fan of the other one. Like, I liked it, but it wasn't.
The OG?
Yeah, it wasn't something that really stood out to me, but I don't know. I like this frame right here. I mean, Jujutsu Kaisen was one of the nominees for Reddit's animation, for best animation, which, you know, MAPPA.
Makes sense. Yeah. MAPPA. Round of applause for MAPPA.
Just killing it with the animations. But surprisingly, and we both kind of like had this realization, there's a very small amount of Demon Slayer in here.
Yes, which is surprising. Like,
very.
Why do you think it would be left out?
I don't know. I mean, I've heard a couple people say that it, you know, they don't like or not that they don't like the story, but they don't think that the story is anything crazy or that the show is anything crazy. It's just really well animated.
Yeah, you know, but I feel like it checks all the boxes, right?
Yeah.
Characters. Every character is very like memorable, notable, has their own respective like fans. So it's not just like one protagonist that kind of gets all the glory. It's like it's kind of well dispersed with like the fans. I think story is very like, and it's still unraveling.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Music, good. Animation, great.
Voice acting, awesome.
Yeah.
It's good, but I think I don't even know. I have no idea why it's not on it. I mean, it is down here. Which one did it get?
Like Mugen Train, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I think the Mugen Train was the only thing that came out in 2021. Or did the other season? Because the other season had been out for a bit of time, right?
Yeah. So it's been a wait.
Yeah, because I think
that could be the reason.
I think just Mugen Train came out
because season 2 started airing 2022, if I'm not mistaken, right?
2022. Yeah.
Well, I mean, sooner, like maybe?
Season 20 for the 2022.
Season 2. Yeah. Like so
in December, I think.
That wouldn't have made the cut then, right?
Yeah. No.
So that's the only explanation I have.
Probably. Yeah. I guarantee next year it'll get a lot more though, because it is insanely popular with just everybody, which rightfully so. I think it's a great show. It's just, I'm not going to hype it up that much. I'm glad everybody likes it, but
right.
I still like other things more. But
definitely.
Honestly, this Jobless, what is it? Jobless Reincarnation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is everywhere. And I've only seen those couple clips, and I mean, I really think I've kind of missed the mark on a lot of these really good anime. Like, I missed out on a lot of them last year. That's what I've learned from this awards.
Yeah, how you think you're in the loop, and then you realize, like, this was massive, and I had no clue about it.
I watched so much anime last year, but I scroll through this, I'm like, what the fuck is this? But hey, cool, it was really nice going through this, and I just want to bring a little pen and a pad of paper and just start writing down all my next to watch list.
Yeah. So, yeah, interesting to look at, nothing to lose sleep over. I think the awards are cool. It definitely, it brings to light like the fact that there's an award system for what people are interested in and could be invested in. I think that's a cool thing.
Yeah. Mugen Train got best movie. So
best movie.
That's fair. That's fair. It didn't even win for the jury though. And I don't know what
just
that
the public winner, huh?
Aiga Daisuke Pompo-san.
No clue. Yeah, no idea.
No, never heard of it.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot to be stoked with coming out. Like, I think I'm looking forward more to 2023's awards because I feel like there's going to be a lot of big contenders there.
Well, one of the ones I was kind of making my own list, and like as far as the isekai genre goes, I'd probably say my favorite one was The Faraway Paladin.
Yeah.
Because I think that one was really well done. I liked it. It was sweet. It made me feel things. I'm happy. I'm excited to see where it goes, but I think the only reason why I would have chosen that is because Rising of the Shield Hero got pushed off until this year.
Right.
And that just adds another anime of this year, because I went through and started collecting a list of ones coming out this year, and there's a lot of sick stuff coming out.
There is. I mean, Shield Hero, major contender. Chainsaw Man, of course, Chainsaw Man, everyone's talking about it, so that's no surprise there.
Hell yeah.
There's a rumor, too, or is it confirmed? For a certain game to anime adaptation. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. The episode last week, it got confirmed the day before last week's episode comes out.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So, will the podcast that came out last Thursday, we'll be talking about it as if it's not confirmed, because it hasn't even been confirmed for a full 24 hours since that episode comes out.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Because it's fresh.
It's really fresh.
It's confirmed, but...
Do you know the studio that picked it up?
I don't know what studio, but I was saying No, I don't think anything's really been said about it.
Yeah.
I think I was reading something else about another show. But, yeah, it just got confirmed. I'll have to look into it, because I think I was reading something earlier today, but I've just been reading so much shit lately.
But I played near...
Yeah, for your first time.
Is it Automata?
Automata.
I always say Automata, patata.
I would say Automata, because it's like an automaton.
Yeah.
Like the machines,
That would make much more sense. Automata.
Yeah. I think most people say automata, though, like automata.
Yeah.
Automata. It just rolls off the tongue easier.
It's like
Near Automata.
Pirates of the Caribbean or Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. And I'm the kind of person, I say it both ways. So.
Yeah. But we're not going to go over this again, because already Merriam-Webster is pissed with us. So
I've been getting a lot of emails. We got to cool it.
Context, listen to the earlier episodes. But stoked for that. I mean, because I played for the first time, and it blew my mind. The game has so many different elements to it. I've had a wall scroll in my room. I've had all the phone wallpapers. I've said that before. So I was like a fat poser. But now I'm not, because I played at least 45 minutes.
I was going to say, I think you got to get at least through an ending or two to be able to reclaim yourself.
And I will, because I seriously, that game blew my mind, and it came out, it was 2018? It's not new.
It's 2017.
2017, yeah, but just the dynamic of the hack and slash, the perspective, the angle changes.
It's a really good game.
Sometimes you're a mech, sometimes you're a plane, sometimes you're,
2B, sometimes you're 9S, A2, sometimes you're top down, sometimes you're side scrolling.
Sometimes you're not even, wearing a skirt. So
yeah,
it's just, it constantly keeps you surprised, and it's difficult. Even on, I'm starting on normal. I'm not on that easy shit. I'm one step up, but there's a hard and then a very hard, right?
Yeah, and the very hard is very hard. I haven't gotten past the intro on very hard.
So it's legitimately very hard.
Yeah, it's tough. It is tough.
Isn't it one hit you die kind of thing?
That's what it says. I don't know if it's true about everything, but it's pretty much if you get hit, you're kind of fucked. So,
but having a little context now, I could be stoked on seeing an anime rendition of it, because the character designs were always, I thought, flawless. I think they just look so cool.
Yeah. Just
all the white hair, the black clad kind of uniform, weird blindfold thing they have.
Yeah, that they don't need.
Yeah, I don't get that. I'm waiting, because I'm don't look it up. because I'm like, is it a part of the story? But maybe they just
No,
it's
I
like
don't
a
think
visual call.
I don't think it's ever a part of the story. I think it's just because it looks cool.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some lore about it that it's like there's a screen in there or something. But
Yeah.
I don't know. We should Google it.
Bro, it's like the same thing when people ask me like what my tattoos mean.
Yeah.
A lot of them I'm just like, I thought it looked cool.
Would you ask 2B what her mask means?
I would ask her a lot of things, but probably not that.
Yeah. She can wear whatever she wants. That's fine.
It's a free world.
Her and 9S out there looking, they don't need their eyes. They don't need to see you.
Yeah.
They can just sense it.
They can't see the haters,
Yeah.
because blindfold.
Because they got the blindfold on. Yeah, I like that.
Makes sense now. That's the reason, so they cannot see the haters.
I like that.
Love is War.
Kaguya-sama.
Kaguya-sama. That is coming out this year too, right?
Yep, the new one. Did you see the character designs for it?
No.
I can actually pull it up so you can look at it real quick.
Yeah. Love of War. Love is War?
Love is War.
Love of War. A love of kill.
I have a love of war. Yeah, love of kill.
Love of kill. Love is War. Kaguya-sama season 3 is coming out this year. Do you know what season it's going to be? Is it going to be like summer or?
Well, I think you just said season 3, so maybe you saw that somewhere, but
Yeah.
I have no idea if it actually is because there's just so many. I thought there was just one, like maybe a season or two. I think we talked about this where we didn't know if it was just the one season or 2 seasons, but I think there's a bunch of like OADs, like just kind of outside, not really seasons, but just like an extra couple episodes.
Like arcs and little
I think there's a lot of stuff like that. So I don't know if it's like a for sure season 3 or
2 or
it seems like it is. Like I think there was season 1 and 2 and this is season 3.
That makes sense to me, but I'm definitely looking forward to that. It's not what you expected, like especially after season 1. You didn't think it would be as like wholesome as it is.
Yeah.
Like they really played heavy on the whole like, it's like this game of chess between us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make him feel this way and she's gonna, make him feel that way, but it turns out like kind of mushy after, but I like it.
Yeah. No, it's really adorable.
Yeah, it's hella cute, but
it was one of my favorite ones that I watched last year, just because it was one of the ones I had the best time watching.
Yeah.
I like how every episode's framed like a battle. So, at the end of it, it'll be like, nobody won today, or like, Shirogane won today.
They tally it up. And, what I found interesting is we were having a totally unrelated conversation earlier, but I felt like it's very comparable to the main characters from Love is War. We were talking about kind of the concept of gifted children, having it rough later in life, whereas we grew up quote unquote gifted, where you said you were put into like some like extra classes, right?
Yeah.
And, like what were those classes like?
We just learned like grade levels ahead stuff. I didn't pay much attention in them, but halfway through the school day they would just put us on a bus and send us to a different school, and I was in that class with 3 or 4 other kids, and we'd just be learning like about math that was a couple grade levels ahead. Or the only thing I can really remember was learning the math. I know we learned other things, but I have the vivid memory of them telling me what a rhombus was.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't give a fuck about a rhombus. I want to go back to my other school where my friends are. And it just kind of turned me off to the whole school idea. But yeah, it was the whole conversation got brought up because I had mentioned I watched that Dr. K video where he kind of goes over that. And I was just like, It
resonated. You're like, that was kind of me. And same thing here, just in short, like, I was always put into things like, oh, you're good at math, so you have to be a part of the mathletes. And like, I didn't give a shit about being in the mathletes, but that Cold Stone after, that was enticing. And just like, getting submitted like into like competitions for like poetry and whatnot. But yeah, just being told like, you're like the special gifted person and you're going to go really far.
And you got to make use of it.
And you got to make use of it.
You have to do something with it.
But then you realize it almost gets to your head in the sense where it's not that we were exceptional, really. We just learned a little different.
Yeah.
You know, we had a different way of learning, and instead of focusing on that, it was more of just push to where we never really learned how to like study and further it on our own because we thought we were already there.
It's like a primary amount of the learning happens all at once in the beginning of learning something. Like you have a very small window when you pick something up to learn all that you can about it before that your interest just drops off from it. And then it becomes so difficult. But I think the thing you related to it really well to Kaguya-sama is, and you know, with most things in anime, because they touch on this concept a lot, is just like the weight of expectation. Like they're expected to do these things. You know, they are all the smartest kids, but I think you can kind of explain it a little better because you kind of made the relation there.
Yeah, so it's really, it touches on that to where it is the weight of expectation. You couldn't have said it better, to where notably they were gifted in some regards when they were younger, and they're like, oh, you're going to be this and you're going to do that. And later on they kind of struggle, you know, during their coming of age. And I think it affects you in a certain way to where you feel incompetent or inadequate if you don't always hold yourself to that standard. Yeah. So you see, like, on the outside, Shirogane, you know, is the president, vice president, Kaguya.
It's got to be all cool and suave.
You look at even you know, the, like, technical wizard, and there's kind of that sad, like, dark side to it. It was like you, for an example, like, has a hard time socializing. You know, you look at Shirogane, where it's like, yeah, he's brilliant in all these regards, but he comes from a tough upbringing as far as they didn't have a lot of money, and he has to work really hard and kind of overexert himself to take care of his family, you know, save up and make it in school. And then Kaguya, you know, isn't she a part of like a very affluent family?
Yeah.
You know, and expected to be.
And I think that is actually a big, not a big part of the story, but like an arc of the story, isn't it? That she's like, she kind of has to deal with that. Yeah, she has that like attendant that follows her everywhere, and that kind of impedes on her, you know, social life a bit. And she was very sheltered, so like, you know, which is hilarious. Yeah, it's so funny. It's like, especially, I think it was like episode 3 in season 1 where she's like talking about like, oh yeah, I've done it. Yeah, the clip. And Chika, you were like, huh? And she's like, oh yeah, I've you know, she's reading this magazine that's talking about people that have like actually done it, you know, around that age demographic. And she's like, oh yeah, I think the percentage is way off. Way more people have done it. And, you know, everyone's like shocked by this. And finally she's talking to Shirogane, and she makes a statement like, yeah, I've even, you know, I've done it with my baby nephew. And it was like recorded. And he's like, wait a second, I forgot. You're actually a total moron. What do you mean by done it? And she's like, yeah, we kissed, you know? That's because of her sheltered life. Like, she, you know, didn't have an understanding of like what to expect in adulthood for things as far as like sexuality and everything. And I think if there's one thing I think is just really hilarious about anime is when characters get overwhelmed, when they do that like wide-eyed look down, little sweat beads, and they're like, you know, kind of just like that. I for some reason I just think it's so funny, and that dynamic in that show. I was actually gonna say with the awards too, like, I don't think it was nominated for comedy, but it should have been on there. It should have. I got some good chuckles from Kaguya-sama. It puts the common rom-com for sure, and just really interesting tropes. And I mean, it's a very real life kind of parallel when you think of, I think there's some of that inadequacy for Shirogane thinking like, oh, I don't come from a well-off family, so you feel like you don't have a chance with somebody who is from that upbringing. And I think that applies to a lot of us. Like, you know, most of us aren't in that place where we grew up, you know, very like privileged in that regard. And a lot of people in that position too aren't necessarily like condescending or, you know, like consumed by that. Like, just because they were raised in a wealthy family doesn't mean that they look down on other people. Yeah. So they feel like, oh, like they won't like me because I come from this upbringing. So you kind of see that like intersection where they pass each other
because of that.
Yeah.
And
It just puts them both in the right situation to have those interactions. But did you come across Kaguya-sama and just say, fuck it, yeah, I'm gonna watch this? Because I passed it up so many times thinking it wasn't gonna be good.
I did the same thing.
It didn't look interesting at all.
Or kind of what I was saying too, I thought it was to be a different tone.
Yeah.
And when I realized what it was actually about, I was like, okay, I could get behind this.
Yeah. I can't remember what I thought it was going to be, but I don't know. But it just didn't, it didn't stand out to me. But after watching it, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, because I love that show. It's good.
Oh, yeah. And it's one of those where it's like, Kaguya, instant, just one of those characters where like, that could be a best girl.
Yeah.
But then there's Chika, which I feel like is up there with her. Like total polar opposite personality, but just that
great supporting character.
Adorable quirkiness.
For a long time, too, I thought just because of all the memes and stuff when it was a little more popular, like a year ago, I saw a lot of Chika around. I thought she was the main character.
Just doing the little like outro dance. Yeah.
I saw so many of them that I thought she was the main character. And then going into it, I was like, damn, okay. I always love things like that, and this is going to be really random, but have you ever seen Convenience Store Boyfriends?
No.
It's a pretty good one, but I like it because I like the shows where it's not just like protagonist and then main supporting character. There's like actually other supporting characters that are well-rounded.
Yeah.
And I think that's like Kaguya-sama does that really well. Convenience Store Boyfriends, it's like it follows two couples and it follows them equally, so there's kind of like a split protagonist kind of situation. But yeah, I like it. I mean, I thought Chika was the main character. It's not. She's not. She's just a badass supporting character. She's part of the group.
I think you actually have shown me that, but like a couple years ago.
Probably.
On Discord one time, you were streaming it.
Yeah. Either that or A Town Where You Live, because I think those are the two. I'm like, you gotta watch these, bro.
Yeah.
One of them's just super cute and wholesome, and the other one's gonna really piss you off. A Town Where You Live, it makes me upset.
I can't even. That one's totally missing me right now. I'll have to touch up on that, but there's some too that, man, like, not even close to being nominated, great shows, but really fell off the radar. Like, I feel like that one that came in strong was another kind of reincarnation one, and I think we've talked about it before, where like he goes back in time to the art school.
Oh yeah, Remake Our Life.
Remake Our Life.
Actually, I wrote that on my picks for the slice of life anime that I thought would have been like my choice. I wrote that as that one because I love it. It's just so full of drama.
I think that was a very compelling one, but I don't see anyone talking about it anymore.
Yeah,
it fell off.
Well, I feel like it's the same thing. Like it's really easy to get super hyped right in the beginning when it's like fresh and new, and then right after that first arc, like when he goes back forward in time and is married to the girl with the blue hair.
I didn't know that.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't finish it.
Sorry. But I mean, it's just like he goes back in time again, but obviously they had that romantic connection.
Oh yeah.
It just shows where his life would be going.
Right.
And I guess that's going to happen a couple more times or something, but it's like just after that, people just moved on to other things.
Yeah.
It's still good, but I think a large portion of the people are only interested right when it's new, and then they fall off, and then there's a smaller group of people who continue to like it as much.
Now, here's a bit of a loaded question, just off the top of my head, but I was thinking about this. Do you think anime is going to continue to have this like compounded snowball effect where it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger throughout the decades?
Probably.
Or do you think it's going to have kind of a recession where it falls back and falls out of popularity, where I feel like it's kind of, there's a lot of people into it, but how many are going to stay into it? You know what I mean?
I think it'll stay around for a long time because there's just, there's a lot of stories you can tell in anime, and obviously it's been shown that, sometimes we don't even want a new story. We just want new characters to play out the same story that we just watched last season.
Right. But you know, more so like even something we kind of touched on, like dating it to where, you know we're really into anime, really into it. You know, it's been for me the past like 10 years where I've been like dedicated to it and on and off throughout childhood. But we talked about like, will we still be into these type of shows when we're 40 or 50, you know, because it's ever evolving, or is it just going to remain consistent? I can imagine a lot of people now that are into, you know, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way, but kind of like the normie, like, you know, like My Hero, and where they just jumped on the Demon Slayer train. Like 5 years, they might not be into anime. Like it was kind of a one-off thing. Like they got really into it, and then they were like, yeah, they got what they wanted.
Yeah,
you know?
I just think it's not that large of a group of people. Like, there's the largest group of people are watching those shows, but you know, that makes up such a small percentage of the not so like the more casual anime viewers. Because even I've been watching anime for a long fucking time, but the more people I meet who just say like, oh yeah, I just started getting into anime like 2 years ago, like they don't even know what my anime list is. They're keeping it in their notes, showing me, you know, like, oh yeah, I'm ranking them like in my notes on my phone. I'm like, dude, just make a my anime list.
I bring that up all the time. Like
these people are fresh. Like, you know, they're just getting onto the snowball. Like we've been rolling this long and we're still interested in it. I think it's going to grow for a while. I don't think we've seen the peak of anime interest quite yet. I think it's going to grow for a little bit longer and then kind of simmer down.
Here might be like a proper separation then, because I could say confidently a lot of people are into like Marvel movies when they come out. Like it's kind of a, you know, most people you talk to, oh, did you see the new Spider-Man? See this. But there's not a lot of people, like those people that are into it, they might have a Spider-Man t-shirt or something, but that's the extent of it, where there's not a lot of people who are like holed up in their place with like Marvel memorabilia.
I think you're just not in those circles or like
I'm saying in
of the
comparison to the casual Marvel viewer. I'm saying I think it's like 1 out of 10 is going to be like really invested. I don't think it's like a split, you know?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know the exact numbers on it, but you know, look at just like Marvel merch sales, ticket sales, DVD, Blu-ray, whatever sales. I hear a lot more people discussing concepts of superheroes than I do people talking about anime in public on a day-to-day basis. I don't really see it on the internet, but you know, feeds are so curated nowadays that I can't just say what I see is the only, because if I went and followed a bunch of Marvel pages, I'm pretty sure I would see people having endless conversations about it.
Right.
And I've seen a lot of pictures, like, you know, the subreddit, like battle stations, where it's just people's offices. I've seen a lot of them where, you know, people have it decked out with Marvel or DC stuff, with comic book stuff.
Yeah.
So, and, you know, something like that, like comics have just kind of grown in size too. I think anime is sure to follow, you know?
No, absolutely. Yeah, I think we'll see like a lot more people. It's definitely broken the stigma in recent years where it's like not such a closeted thing to be in anime.
It's cool to like anime now.
It's cool to like it, and that's what I'm saying, but what's cool becomes uncool and cool again. So that you will see this cycle, but I think I take back to the times where, you know, I talk to a lot of clients at work, and if I hear anime, I just start vomiting out all this information about anime because
my eyes light up and I'm just standing right next to it. I'm like, what are you into?
Exactly. But notably so, one time I was talking to somebody and they were into it. They were talking about like My Hero and kind of the shonens. And then I kept talking about it, you know, because I was like, oh, I want to keep this going. They're like, yeah, or like, I'm not that into anime. I think I was talking about like conventions, you know, and different things and like figures. And they're like, yeah, I'm not kind of like, yeah, I'm not that into anime. And I feel like that would be the response from a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but that's normal.
Like it's, I think it's like kind of the 7 layers of hell thing. Like, how deep are you?
I was mentioning it. I don't think I ever found out a word for it, but it was like the first level is normie watcher. You watch Dragon Ball Z and Full Metal Alchemist maybe when you were a kid, and you like anime because you've seen those and you like those. And then there's another one that I don't really know. I guess it would just be casual anime enjoyer, where maybe now you've gone into Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer and you're keeping up with the newer, cooler ones. Then you get into connoisseur, where you start watching, you start stepping outside of your comfort zone of what you would watch and, testing the waters. And then you eventually get to degenerate, where it's, I don't care, just show me anime. Just let me watch something, and you'll watch anything. You might not like it afterwards, but we'll pretty much watch damn near anything at this point, I think. And I think people, we just gotta give people the opportunity to catch up.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said. I think, that could certainly be the case. And, this just leads me to this weird, thought experiment now. Think of if anime was illegal. I'm not saying, nasty illegal, and I'm saying, just in general, it was illegal.
Like Footloose, but anime?
Yeah, exactly. You're not allowed to watch it. You're not allowed to read manga. You're not allowed to have any merchandise or anything that
you're not allowed to make a podcast about it. Imagine.
Yeah, well, that should be illegal. We're changing legislation as we speak. Enough people listen to this, it will certainly be illegal. But I wonder if there would be a speakeasy, or everyone's huddled up in there, and they're new episodes out, and it's playing on this little tiny box TV, and everyone's huddled around just watching it. There's no subtitles. They don't even care. They don't understand it. They're just getting that itch scratched.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I would go through all the effort to watch it, but I might. If you took it away from me now, definitely. But if it was just always like that, probably not.
Oh yeah, that's kind of you haven't had a taste of the forbidden fruit yet,
But if it just became illegal next week, then you better believe I'd be hitting the internet and downloading as much as I can. All my favorite series. My VPN would be on. I would be just downloading mass amounts. I'm gonna be thanking myself that I bought the unlimited internet, so I can just download it all before it goes completely locked down.
Go old school, just burn it to CDs and or DVDs, and have an old DVD player, so it's not hooked up to the internet.
Yeah.
They can't
no connection.
Locate you. You're just there with a hood.
You have a CRT TV that you plug it into. You just watch it in your closet.
That's kind of a vibe, though.
It is, dude.
Yeah.
I honestly there's no room in here for anything big like a CRT TV, but I would love to just have a small CRT set up on a shelf somewhere that you could turn on and just plug a Raspberry Pi into it or something and have a little GIF play or something,
Right.
You see them on a lot of in people's backgrounds for aesthetic stuff, and they just the CRT TVs are super cool.
Yeah.
I just love them. It just gives me that Serial Experiments Lane and Akira vibe.
Yeah.
It's that, I love it. It's cool. But I also like the modern look, the flat monitors on the wall, off the desk and stuff. I like both of them, being consumed by wires and being totally wireless.
Yeah, there's a tasteful way to be consumed by wires.
Yeah. It's hard to make it look cool in real life.
Yeah.
But it is possible. It's just got to be, you got to give it some care, It can't just be how my shit's set up right now.
Little TLC, the right amount of effort,
I think that's it. It's it really has to have that show of effort. You tried to make it look like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So,
CRTs.
I think it's a good time. Do a beer pairing. What do you say?
I know you were promising me an IPA, but I think you may have changed your mind.
I was. I certainly was. But hear me out. This one could not be more perfect in the name and everything.
I trust you.
So, Kaguya-sama, Love is War.
Mm-hmm.
Kaguya Sour.
Another fucking sour.
You know how I roll. I'm about that sour life.
I
Well,
know you are. And I mean, they haven't really been that bad. I'm just talking shit. I'm just waiting for my IPA. Next week, maybe.
You know what? Yeah, go grab that. I want to show this bottle off.
Yeah. Why do I always have to grab it? Are you ever gonna grab it?
That's co-host duty. All right, so we do have the bottle here.
Yeah, we don't need a
Pop
bottle.
it up to the camera here. Cascade Brewing. This is Kaguya Sour, so it's not Kaguya. It's spelled differently. It's Kagua.
Kaguya Sour.
Close enough, right?
Yeah.
Close enough. So this is a barrel-aged red ale with yuzu and sansho peppers. So where I kind of make this comparison, for one, I don't know, the color red kind of reminds me of her. As just
there is a lot of red in the show.
There's a lot of red in the
part
show.
Of their
so
uniform.
Very, surface, but the red kind of drew me to it. The name, of course, but it also just plays on her a bit. And I feel like we've done a lot of sours to this point, and this is a prevalent theme. But she is yet again another one of those characters where she's like, I feel like she's the perfect embodiment of like sour and sweet. She pretends to like put on this air of like, I'm tough, I'm hard to digest. It's hard to take me in. You don't want to be a part of this. But deep down, she just wants to be loved. She just wants that affection. Just like this right here. Mm-hmm. So this is a primo bottle. It's a good ass beer when there's a cork up top.
Yeah, it's fancy.
It's some bougie shit right there. So would you do the honors?
I was going to say, I really like doing these things. I hope I don't make a mess though.
So far, so good.
I should just be able to push, yeah. I'm just going to wiggle it off. I was trying to pop it off and be all cool, but just going to wiggle it out here. Pop.
Oh, you actually got it. Hell yeah. What's that smell that hits?
That smells really good. It's like a really nostalgic smell for me. I don't know why.
I'm gonna give that a whiff. Oh yeah, I could already tell. Already tell. So
the cork's got a bit of corky flavor smell to it. If you want to smell that too, it's kind of like a little not smokier, but woody.
It's probably and then like the pepper too.
Yeah, it's like really seeped into the cork.
So I'm gonna read a little bit of the back here. It is bottle conditioned. They recommend to serve at 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's where you kind of get into the upper echelon. They'll denote like, oh, you should serve it at this temperature for the perfect experience.
Do we have a thermometer on hand?
I wish we did. So it is a collaboration with our friends at Far East Brewing in Yamanashi, Japan. Did not know that.
Oh.
This unique project is a sour beer interpretation of Far East award-winning Kaguya Rouge, featuring a blend of red ales aged in red wine barrels with Japanese sansho peppers and yuzu peel. Kaguya Sour offers complex notes of fresh citrus, spicy green peppercorn, and roasted red malt. There's a little more on the bottom here. Our distinctive barrel-aged sour ale offers a complex array of flavors derived from Northwest-grown ingredients. A pioneer in the sour beer renaissance since 2006 and the proud innovator of the Northwest Sour Ale. We are, by nature, the definition of artisanal brewing. We are not bound by stylistic guidelines, just our own imagination and the ingredients we can access. You don't read that shit on a Keystone Light.
You really don't.
Imagine if they tried to oversell it like,
we believe in quality.
That's always their cop-out. Quality, fresh.
Ford tough.
Cold beer. Oh, damn.
Have you ever had a not ice cold beer? Me either.
You ever kiss your sister on the lips just to realize it's your cousin's uncle? That's what it's like to drive a Ford F-150.
I need to buy a Ford F-150.
Is that not the commercial? Well, shit. Let's pour some of this.
Oh, another co-host drop. Oh yeah, that looks
So the co-host doing what he does best. Like, comment, subscribe if you want him to get a pay raise. Because right now he's a little underpaid, but we're also understaffed, so we're just making do. Two members of the club.
I'm gonna lose the house.
Karen left with the kids.
It's like a stout. It's dense. It's heavy. It doesn't have a lot of carbonation. It looks real thick, and it smells like that kind of stout smell to it. You know,
with a true sour. So not to say a kettle sour is not true sour, but like one that's actually aged for a significant amount of time, you'll notice that it's sometimes a little more. It appears on the flat side. You'll get a little bit of that carbonation on, in the mouthfeel there, but it's very reminiscent in color of I think of Red Trolley Ale by Carl Strauss. You don't see a lot of the red ale stands, but it's in a class of its own. I've never had a soured red ale, so this is entirely new to me.
I'm trying to stand it here. There, that'll work.
All right.
Want to give it a taste?
Yeah. Cheers. Oh my God.
Ooh.
That is incredible. Sour, huh?
Yeah, it's real sour.
So Ryan's not the biggest sour fan.
It tastes good, I promise. It's just...
But I put him through the torture of going through sours because I've said before, but my favorite beer. He's an IPA dude, and I'm not as much on the IPA train, but I got some my trip in San Diego for us to do the next pairings with, so.
It looks really nice. It's got that nice thick, even lifting it up, I got a kind of rush of the peppers in my nose.
Yeah.
And the smell. Definitely hits like a sour, but the flavor's pretty good. I'm not too keen on the aftertaste. It kind of, with the stouty kind of thickness, it kind of feels like it lines my mouth.
Yeah.
Kind of lingers around a little longer than I would like, but it's not bad. It's got a good flavor for... being something that, peppers and beer is always a weird mix for me.
For me, it makes sense. And I mean, especially when you shop at Japanese markets and you go through the condiments and you get the yuzu for cooking, the yuzu sauce, the very thin one. It's very, very sour. Kind of like kumquat sour. Is it kumquat? Kumquat?
Yeah, kumquat.
Yeah, kumquat sour, where it's beyond lemon sour. So I found that interesting that they threw it in here, especially with the red ale. I mean, a red ale is always very, particularly yeasty, but I think that goes great with the sour element.
This gives me no vibes of a red ale.
Really?
Yeah. It's probably just the sour that's overpowering everything about it for me, but
yeah,
I get a lot in the smell, a lot in the actual texture of it, but the flavor is primarily just that sour hit and then kind of that peppery smell aftertaste that kind of just fills the nostrils.
Yeah, because it's not hitting you. It's not a spicy pepper, to clarify. It's just that peppery taste, if anything.
It's got the taste of a spice, a pepper, but it's not spicy. It's spicy flavor without the spicy.
But I thought it was interesting too, even before reading off everything, you notice kind of that woodsy, oaky quality to it. I'm looking at the back of the bottle now. It is barrel aged.
So was I right in saying that woody kind of smell?
Yes, because it is in a wine barrel, I believe. So
on the cork is really where I smelled the
woodiness. Yeah,
seeped into the cork like that.
Let me give that another sip. Oh yeah, that's with Kaguya, she is somebody I think that also is just ages like fine wine. She's coming into maturity, just how this had to sit in the barrel and age. She's aging very well. She's coming into herself. She's finding out who she is throughout the story because she's been told her entire life who she's supposed to be, but she's finding out like, hey, that's not me. This is me.
I am a barrel-aged red ale with yuzu and Sancho peppers.
And I'm proud, damn it.
Yeah, you can be proud.
So I give this one like 2 thumbs, full marks, but I love sour.
Yeah.
I love sour. But for a guy who doesn't really reach, not that you dislike sours, but you don't reach for them, how would you compare this to the other sours you have tried?
It's sour.
It's sour. Like Warhead sour?
No, it's got like a bit of a softness to it. Like the sour monkey. Insane. That is like sucking on a candy. This is a lot more tame, but it definitely has that, like, you know, kind of lights up the sides of my cheeks and my tongue with that kind of pucker feeling.
Oh yeah.
But I'll give you 2 ratings. I'll rate it on the scale of just sours in general, of like sours I've tasted. It's probably like a 7 or an 8, you know?
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It's a little too sour. I've had some sours that aren't as up front, you know?
Like our Overlord pairing. That one wasn't nearly as sour.
That one was pretty good.
Yeah.
Sour Monkey is like a absolute no-go. That's way too sour. But
that's my burner beer. That's what when I'm not reaching for like a crazy new craft, Sour Monkey is like my go-to.
Yeah, that's just too much for me.
We'll never do a pairing on it unless there's like a monkey anime, but
which there probably is. We could find one.
Yeah, we'll find one. Next up, Sour Monkey paired with
my
anime
second
monkey.
Rating, just on like how I think it is as a beer, 3.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's fair though. You're honest, you know.
I wouldn't drink this, but like I'm glad to have tried it. It does taste good, but if I go my entire life without ever having it again, yeah, I'd probably be fine. But for like, if you like sours, it's good.
So rating from a sour guy, I give it like an 8.5, honestly.
Which isn't too much above my, like, in just range.
But in general,
sours,
above your general 3, just because it's much more complex, and I like the. You know, there's going to be a nasty comparison, but kind of like that gym sock sour, like that.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
That's how people explain it, though. But like that really like raunchy sour, where it's not just like tart fruit, you know, where it kind of hits you. And to me, it's like the most refreshing thing possible. Like hot summer day, I'd reach for this. But I think it has the utility. It's even, you know, winter time now, it has enough kind of character to carry itself in the winter. So I could drink this all year round.
To me, I just think about it like I would drink one of these and then like try to run or like partake in an activity at a park or something on like a hot day, like you said, and I would just have the nastiest vomit, like in the park trash can. It'd be a miserable day for me.
I could throw this shit back like lemonade, son. I'm telling you. Give me a 12-pack of these.
See, but I can't throw back lemonade. I'll have one glass of lemonade and my stomach will hurt. So
that's fair.
You know, I think that's where my dislike of sours comes from, because even just drinking this little bit, my stomach is turning a little bit.
Now, I've been unfair to you. We will have that IPA pairing. And
I'm waiting for it.
You'll find me on the other end, where I tried even the other day. We went to Saddle Mountain Brewing.
Yeah.
And we had really good IPAs. We had different ones. I had a hazy. You had Hop Snob, right?
Yeah.
I don't even remember the name of my hazy, but I couldn't get past the metallic bite to that type of, like, I could do Voodoo Rangers. I could do Voodoos. I feel like they're a mellow, juicy, hazy.
Voodoo Rangers are kind of low on the tier list for me as far as IPAs go.
Yeah.
They're not that great. I don't really like them.
And I could do wet hops, which are only a seasonal thing, unfortunately, but it's like an oily, little less dank hop taste. because I think it's just the hops and IPAs that like, but you love that part of it.
Mm-hmm.
You like the dank hoppiness
Yeah.
that comes with them. So
I like when it tastes like dirt.
look forward to that. You guys look forward to that IPA pairing for the next.
Let's go.
So that's it. We talked about some awards, some ideas behind Kaguya-sama, Cascade Brewing, Kaguya Sour. Check it out. This is not a cheap bottle. Keep in mind, these single bottles do range on a little bit of the pricier side. I think close to $20. We'll put it up on the screen. Correct me if I'm wrong. But this is not for the faint of heart. But if you are a sour fan, you will really enjoy the complexity you find in this beer. It's one must try for
if you
avid
like
sour fans.
sours.
Yeah.
Like if I ever meet somebody who says they like sours, I'm gonna say you should try Cascade Brewing Kaguya Sour.
Because I've had a lot by Cascade. So this isn't my first Cascade. I'll definitely touch on those with more pairings, but thanks again for watching, viewing, listening. Remember, subscribe, share. Everything helps right now. Our club is still on the verge of shutting down. We need your support if you want to keep the club room. We need at least like 5 people. I think we hit like what, 27 subscribers?
I think so, yeah.
I couldn't be more grateful. Thank you again, guys.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting.
Until next time, peace.